Mhm. Mhm. Hello, can anyone hear me? Good evening, everyone. Please, if you can hear me, let me see your chat, your name, and where you are chatting from, where you are connected from. Good evening, everyone, and happy new month. Is anyone hearing me? Please confirm if you can hear me. Confirm if you can hear me, please. I'm not sure anyone can hear me. Oh, okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Happy New Month. How we doing? How was our day today? It's good to have us here. It's good to have us back. Yeah, and how that the year is running so fast. We are in the second chapter of the year already. And thank God for the progress so far. We are 2 weeks into our mentorship phase. It's been an awesome ride. I've been seeing our posts, our projects that we are working on. And I want to say kudos to everyone in this space, everyone that are doing their work perfectly well. And also, I want to say, I think last week we were supposed to hold this section, but we couldn't because of some stuff that we could not really um handle, some unforeseen circumstance, which happens sometimes. So we are sorry about the section we couldn't hold last week Sunday, and we know that that section is very important, which we had to shift to today. So it's good to have us here. Please type in the comment section where we are connecting from, and also our name, our tech track. If you know your colleagues are not here, please do it to go to your group chat and invite them to this section. This section is very, very important. The reason why I said it's very important is we are just starting the year, and everybody has a lot of goals, everybody has a lot of things they want to do, a lot of tasks they want to do, a lot of new year resolution. And without planning, without setting goals, without knowing how you should, because many people actually they have goals, they set out their goals, but they can't even achieve them. So that is why this section is very, very important. You can feel free to invite your friends to join this section, even though they are not in this cohort, because everyone really needs to set their year right and achieve what they want to achieve for the year. So this section is very, very important. Let me check our comment section and see if I'm not the only one here. Okay, I can see Uyoyo. I can see Golden. Welcome. I can see Veronica. Welcome, Veronica. I can see Bimbola. Loretta, good to have us here. I can see Choma. Happy New Month, Happy New Month. From can see the cyber security, the back end developers. Well done, front end developers, and all that. You are all welcome. I really appreciate us joining in tonight. Good to have us here. Happy New Month, Happy New Month. Please do well. Go inform your friends in your group chat that we are live before we welcome our speaker for tonight. So I know we it's been a journey for us, and I would really advise us that even as we are doing our project, we should not fail to communicate in our group chats. Very, very important. If you are going through any challenge, don't keep mute. We want each and every one of us that have started this mentorship phase to finish well. So please do well. If you have any question, you are stuck in your project, do where to ask in the group chat. Please do where to ask your friends. No man is an island. So please don't keep it to yourself. You can only succeed when you have team. And also, I want to appreciate everyone that has been assisting their teammates, their colleagues. Like that is what we are looking up to. That's what we are looking out for, and which so many people have been doing that. So please, let's carry along each other. We've come so far. 3 months is not joke, and we've passed 1 month already. That's 4 months. Remaining 2 months. It's been a journey. So please, let's not give up. Let's keep the fire burning. That which you have started, you must finish. So don't give up, even though you are lagging behind in your project. Try and meet up, finish them up. Don't give up. Don't give up. So I think, let me see. I can't really see how many people we have in the live section from my end, but please do where to like this section. Do where to like this section. Let's see. Most times we join in, we don't even like the section on YouTube. Please do where to like the section. Yes, where to, so that we'll know that you appreciate it. I would be. I don't know if our speaker is ready for us tonight. So we are having Miss Melvina. Most of us, we know her already. She wants to took a section with us. That was the last day in one of our soft skills series. This is someone, like I said earlier when she came, this is someone that is doing well. She has tried so many things, is working for her. So it's very, very expedient that when you want to learn, they said experience is the best teacher, but me, I would say learn from those people that have made it. Learn from those people that have made the mistake so that the road will be easier for you. And that is why we have Miss Melvina tonight to come tell us what we need to do to make our work easier and how to ace those goals that we have set out for the year, even also our tech track, not just our professional goals, but also other goals that has to do with us. Because one thing in life is when you are not balanced in some aspect of life, it will be affecting some aspect. So there's something they call balance in life. So if you're not balanced, I'm sorry, it will affect other areas of your life. So it's very important that we are balanced in different phases of our lives. So let me check if our guest is here. Sorry about that. My light is out. Mm, Okay, I think she's here. Okay, good to have you, Miss Melvina. Good to have you here. Welcome, welcome. So our speaker for tonight is here. I'm so happy and super excited she's there. I would be giving it up to Miss Melvina. So we have from now till, let's say, 7:40 thereabout, or 7:45. So we could have section for question and answers. So please, let's jot down our questions. Let's listen attentively. Wherever we need practical questions, answers, please do where to ask. Do where to ask so that you will be clarified, and also it will help you out. Okay, so I think that's that for me. I'll be going off your face while we invite Miss Melvina. So Miss Melvina, over to you. Thank you for joining in.
Hi, Precious. Nice to meet you. Hello,
Hi.
everyone. Yeah, apologies, my video is off, so I'll be sharing my slides soon. I hope that's fine.
All right, perfect. That's fine. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So, sorry, give me a minute. I'm trying to get to my screen. Okay. Confirm you can see my screen. Okay. Please just confirm you can see my screen. You can drop a message in the comments. It will be easy for me to follow up that way. Okay. Good evening, everybody. It's really nice to be here today. Um, Okay, I can see Ujun, I can see Rachel, I can see Annie. Yeah. Okay, nice to have you all. So this is not my first time like having a session with us, and I'm hoping that this session will be as impactful as well. So today we'll be going through one very critical step towards achieving success. And I know we are all in a new year. This is 2025. We just like, I mean, we're already in February, and I think last month was like one of the fastest January, if anybody will agree with me, like one of the fastest January in history. Okay, as a lot of people would say. And it's been it's actually been a very interesting one, like seeing all of us go through the, I mean, last month was like our fourth month with this program. And I really just want to say congratulations to every one of you that made it to this phase. Like it's just very interesting to see that a lot of you are still very much invested into this. I can imagine how it must have been going through all the classes for the past 3 months and then starting up with your mentorship and all your challenges. I'm really saying congratulations. Like it's a lot. Thumbs up, well done. In fact, I don't even know what I was saying. Now let me send in a lot of flowers. So here's me saying congratulations to each and every one of you for making it to this phase. Okay, so in today's session it's going to be quite a brief one, and I'm going to be going straight to the point. So we're talking about strategic goal setting. And if you're with me, please just type in the comment section that I can hear you, I can hear you. Let me be sure I'm not alone. Because it's just funny the way nobody can like speak at this time. So just let me know that you're here by typing in the comment section. I can hear you. If I see like three messages, I'll proceed. All right. I've seen Rachel's message. I've seen Unsu Chioma. Okay. All right. So we'll proceed now. Okay, so we'll be talking about strategic goal setting. I know by now everybody already knows what a goal is. And the theme of this session right from the start was setting strategic goal for career advancement, that is thinking long term. And I know the reason we can set goals for various reasons, right? But one of the major focus for us, in fact, the reason we are all together here right now is because of one specific aspect of our lives, which is our career primarily. And then through most of this soft skill series you have like every 2 weeks is also to like build you up in different aspects in your life generally, in your social life, your intellectual life, like every other thing aside from just your career. So, as much as yes, we are focusing on career advancement in this session, I will try as much as possible to see that it also covers other aspects because basically the principles are the same, they just apply across any of our phases in life. Okay, so moving on to the next thing, we'll be focusing on five different areas today. We'll be talking about what goal setting means, then we'll understand why we should set goals and how to set strategic goals. And I'll be showing you one of the frameworks I actually like to use for my goal setting that has helped me for a period of time now. Okay. So yeah, just before we start, I really want to know that we are all together. I don't like the fact that I'm just the one talking, but it's still a way to go. So I'll be saying my favorite food, I'll talk about my favorite movie, and then I'll tell you a dream celebration I envision for this year. And I would want everybody to do same. You can just drop it in the comment section. So I'll mention my favorite food, I'll mention my favorite movie, or rather one of my favorite movie, because one of my favorite movies, because I have a couple of them, and then I'll mention a dream celebration I envision for the end of this year, 2025. Okay, so my favorite food is afang. My favorite movie, I have a couple, but I'll go with the originals. And then my dream celebration for the end of this year, 2025. Okay, okay. The dream celebration, I'm not going to say it because that one is kind of private. But I mean, I want to travel to an African country before the end of this year. So that's actually one of the biggest things I want to celebrate this year. So can I hear from each of you? Just drop in the comment section. Favorite food, favorite movie, end of year celebration for 2025. Quickly. If I see like three, then I'll proceed. If I don't see up to three, I'll please, if it's better I put it together so that I'll be able to like follow up and be sure that up to three people have answered all the questions. Rachel, I've seen your favorite food. Priska, I've seen your favorite food. Beatrice says she doesn't see movies. All right. Ajayi Florence, okay, jollof rice. All of you like rice, rice, rice. Okay. So it's only me that likes afang. Okay. Okay, I've seen oha soup. Travel to Finland. Ah, Christiana. Wow, wow, wow. Big one. Okay, keep them coming in. The Forge. Rachel, nice, nice. Beekeeper. Okay. For those of you that are looking for movies, maybe you might get a recommendation from here. You can be checking the ones people have already started dropping. Okay, The Forge is winning on this. Semo and Okro. Akidi and Abacha. Victory. Oh my god. Keep them coming in, please. What else? I know people will say, we're talking about goal setting and she's talking about food. Well, food is one of my goals for this year, but I'll not say too much. Okay, 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 okay. Get my dream job, epic movies, fried rice, full stack development. All right, all right. Thank you so much. I think we can wrap it up. You guys can keep on dropping them as they come in, but just to be fast, we're already like we don't have a lot of time again, so I'll just proceed. So it's really nice to know each and every one of you. I like that you all like food as much as I do, and you like movies. Not everybody do, but yeah, something we vibe with together. Then for the dream celebration, I would really I think I can. This will like help us kick off. So this a lot of times I like doing this because it will help you kind of think. I know some people they've really never thought about it to say, okay, at the end of this year, what do I want to celebrate? But it's actually a technique I would also be talking about today that can help you in setting your goals. So this is one of the ways you can actually set a goal. Just mention what you want to be at the end of the year and backtrack from there. But some of the things we would eventually meet up with minimum of $5,000 monthly. Chidiogo Uzochukwu, please can we talk about this after this program? I think I want to go with you on that. All right. So I don't want to be distracted again. I'll just proceed with what we are doing. Okay, so the first question I have here is what does goal setting mean? What does goal setting mean? Okay, so in fact, like I mean, this period is like one of the periods where we would keep on hearing a lot of things about setting goals because it's the beginning of the year and a lot of people just there's this mind let's say consciousness people have once a year starts or once they get into a new phase. They feel like okay, we've gotten into a new year, for instance, and a lot of things have to change. So it's like you've already seen a demarcation between where you were before and where you are now, and you want to start doing something for where you want to be in the future. So that's basically the middle point in goal setting. Like there's somewhere you were before, there's somewhere you intend to get to, and then there's somewhere you are at this point. So you being able to do something to move from where you are to where you want to get to, or to a different place you want to be, a different person you want to be, different aspect of yourself you want to see, is basically what goal setting means. Okay, so goal setting could cut across different aspects. It could be for individuals, that is, it could be for yourself, or it could be for maybe your business. It could be for any aspect of your life, actually. So one of my favorite quotes about goal setting is that is the first step into turning the invisible into the visible. So it basically just explains what I said earlier, that is you moving from this phase you are now, from what you can see at this point. Now I can see myself, I can see somebody that currently I'm in Nigeria, but yeah, at the end of this year I would want to like go to an African country, probably for a vacation, a trip or something, or work basically, right? So that's something that right now is invisible. But then my first step towards making that goal visible, or towards making that thing that's right now invisible visible, is what is called setting of goals. So this is one of the ways you could explain goal setting. I already explained. Okay, I saw. I just saw Helen's message. I was thinking she was saying her goal is to be the good wife. Okay, the movie. Okay, maybe I'll check that out. All right, back to what we're talking about. So it means you're at a point and you're trying to get to another point. So that's basically what you need to set a goal for. So we have several reasons why we could be setting goals, but I kind of pointed out a few of them. And the reason why I feel it's important to understand why is because most times, if you do not understand why, it just makes you like there's really no relevance of it, because it doesn't like hold water. Whatever it is you're trying to pursue does not hold water. Whatever it is you're trying to do, you need to be able to give basis to whatever it is you want to do. So in setting goals, the same way, there has to be a reason for you to set goals. I mean, why do we even need to have this class in the first place? Why do we need to go through a complete 1 hour session talking about goal setting? And aside that, like in a couple of other places within this period, or even like maybe late into the end of 2024, a lot of people had already started like talking about goal setting. On YouTube now, there are a couple of new videos that were released like early this year, all talking about goal setting, because like I said, that's the mind consciousness, because we've like moved from one phase into another in terms of time. But then now we need to know why there's a relevance in this, because for people to keep on talking about it, then it means there's a reason behind it. And one of the reasons behind it is it helps you to clarify focus and direction. So for you to be able to get to somewhere, right? And for you to be able to get to somewhere, you might not even be so clear on what the destination is. But definitely all of us know that, okay, at the end of the day, I want to have a better life, I want to have a better future, I want to have a secured future, I want to be secured financially, I want to have a balanced life. So if you're not able to take that time out to like set goals, if you're not able to take that time out to actually plan for that place that you're intending to head to, then there will be no clarity. You will not be sure. Like there's no way you would even know where you're heading to if you're not able to like sit down, reflect, and rethink to be able to like plan how to get to that place. So being able to set goals, it just helps you to clarify focus and direction. Then something else it helps you to do it enhances your motivation, it enhances your accountability. So I know most of us want to be more responsible. Like we might have made some mistakes in the past year or in the past years. We might have found ourselves getting involved in things that we never even saw that we would get involved with. A lot of things might have happened coincidentally, like it just happened and you were like, how did it happen? Like why am I here? And you're like asking yourself a lot of questions. Why this? Why that? If you're able to set your goals, if you're able to like give take responsibility for some of the things that happen to you at some point, then to help you to be more motivated when you see that, okay, yes, I've actually said that in the next 2 months, I want to, for example, finish this book. And I'm able to finish that book within that period of time, no matter what happens. Like whether anything is going to come between me and that plan, I'm going to make sure I finish it. By the time you've done it once, you've done it twice, you've done it up to 3 times. Trust me, if you say something to somebody, like if you ever say something, you wouldn't be in doubt because you already know that you would keep to it. So that's how you can be accountable. You need to be accountable not just to people but also to yourself, because it helps you in the way your mind works. By the time you keep on being accountable, you set a goal for yourself, you set a target for yourself, you're able to do whatever it is you set, no matter how little, no matter how small. It helps you to build that box of accountability, to trust yourself better, right? So those are some of the things that you should that are the reasons why you should set goals. It just helps you become better at motivation, it helps you become a better person, it helps you become a better version of yourself, and it helps you to build accountability in the process. Now, some other thing that is a reason why you should build it, it helps you to measure progress and success. So a lot of times we lose track of what happens in our lives. Like, we just things just happen and you're like, ah, did this thing actually happen? What is really going on? Like, you don't even keep track. Your life is just going. There's this song we used to sing when we were in like nursery school then. Quiz Sarah, whatever will be. And I think I was talking to my friend sometime this week, and I was like, that song was like one of the wrongest things we were singing, because that's actually wrong. I mean, you don't just tell me whatever will be, because you're taking an action every single day. For every no you say, for every yes you say, you're making a choice, you're making a decision. For every moment you stand up and you say, okay, should I go out or should I not go out? If you go out, something is going to come out of it. If you don't go out, something is going to come out of it. So at the end of the day, every single thing you do, every single moment counts, right? And if you're not able to measure your progress, if you're not able to measure even your mistakes, if you're not able to like learn from, maybe you've been able to succeed in this, you're able to take learnings from that. If you're able to succeed in, maybe you've said, for example, I was using the book thing as an example. So if you're able to say, okay, I will read this book within so time, if I'm able to keep track and say, okay, today I was able to read like 4 chapters and I'm almost done with it. In so time, I should be done with this book. How do I like get better at making sure that within this period, okay, within these first 2 weeks, I had issues with maybe um I didn't like set out specific times to be able to read the book. And it just happened that the book I even forgot at some point. Maybe I was even like reading and I got distracted, or I read it but I did not even like I'm not able to like say what I read or explain to someone else what I read. Then you now say, okay, what did I do wrong that I'll be able to improve on the next time? Those are different ways you can go about making sure you track your progress. So it just helps you to measure your progress, measure your success, and then it increases your confidence and self-esteem. So like I said earlier when I was talking about accountability and motivation, once you're able to do it a couple of times, just like set, even if it's small goals for yourself, and you're able to like achieve these things, it just makes you build confidence. It makes you feel more confident that, okay, for example, now most of us have finished we finished like our first part of this training. We're now at the phase where we need to when we're now doing mentorship. And at this point, I know how difficult it can be, like having people being able to do all the challenges that they need to meet up with. It's really not an easy thing. But if you're able to like meet up with every single day's task, like, okay, every week they've given me this challenge, I'm going to do it. By the time you're done with it, you get into a job and your boss will tell you, see, you have this task to finish up before the end of this week, because you know that you've built that capacity in your mind that anything I'm given to do, no matter how small, no matter how it might feel like, this thing is it really worth it. Once you believe that it is what is right and you're able to do it, and do it once, do it twice, achieve it, then it will help you to increase your confidence and self-esteem. So by the time your boss is giving it to you, you're not scared anymore, because you know that this is something I've done before. Like, I've gotten used to it. I've been able to like set a plan on how I'm going to do it, and it worked out in the past, so it can work again for me. It just makes you a more confident person, and that's actually what sets you out in the career space. That's what sets you out in whatever industry it is you're finding yourself. If maybe you're in the product design space, if you're in the development space, if you're into maybe data analysis, any of those courses most of you have learned, it will just help you to be more confident that okay, yes, so this thing I may not be like the best data analyst out there yet, but the fact that I'm doing this thing every day, I'm showing up every day, is actually helping me to become that better version of myself. So that's some of the reasons why it's very important and it's very expedient of each and every one of us to set goals. Okay, so I know that at this time, like I just want to ask, how many of you like so far we've been able to, I mean the months we've gone through January, just to know how many just if you've been able to do that, just say yes in the comment section. And in fact, no, I don't think I want to answer for those people that have done it. But if maybe if you've not, if you know you've not done your goal setting for this year, can I just see like hands? If you know you've not done it, or maybe you did it and you're not very sure of what you've done, you can just raise your hand. Say yes. I just want to see yes in the comment section. Yes, I've not set my goals, or yes, I've set my goals, but I'm not really sure. I need help in moving ahead with it. I'm not sure of what I did. Or are people going to be the ones that will teach me now? Can you guys hear me? Alright, Chioma has. Who else? Who else? Is it just Chioma that has? Okay, Favor has set her goals. Okay, okay, okay. So it means I'm in the right place. All right, thank you so much. So I'm really hoping that for those of you that have not, by the end of this session, you'll be able to move ahead with that smoothly. Like it will not be an issue for you because you'd get how to actually do it. Okay, so Precious, I think I added you back on stage just to be sure. Like I think the issue I was having earlier, I didn't know if it was network or something. So maybe you can just help me in cases like that, so I can confirm if the network is working properly.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, thank you. Okay, so how do I set strategic goals? So I know most of us, maybe we've seen some videos online about different ways to set goals, or you've even like tried on your own to do one or two things. There are several things, right? If maybe you're working for a company, a lot of companies, or you might have done it for your business, you might have done it for your organization or something, but any of those things could actually work, right? So we have different we call them frameworks, like ways you could actually go about setting these goals. So these are like proven techniques people have used to set goals either for their companies. Most of them are like for organizations basically, and then there are some that you could use for yourself, like to set your own personal goals. So most of these, there are a lot of them. You could actually maybe, I think I'll share this slide, you guys will get it on your general group chat. But these are basically several kinds of goal setting tools that you could try out, you could explore, or that I'll be just talking about one or two that I've really tried, and then we'll just go into more examples with the one that I know that is very rampant. So we have the SMART goals framework, OKRs, all of these are like basically, a lot of them might be complicated, a lot of them might be simple, but I think one thing that really stands out for me when it has to do with all these frameworks, because I had to look into a few of them while I was preparing for this class, and the common thing about all of these goal setting frameworks or whatever it is that there is an outcome that you're expecting, like a different place from probably where you are, where your business is, or whatever it is that is the focus of that goal that you want to set. So there's already like a place it is now, and there's a place you intend for it to get to. So for an example, like the OKR simply means like results, objectives, and key, is it key, I think key performance index or something, right? So just an example, right? the results in the OKR is speaking to where you want to be at the end. Now, another one I've tried is like the backwards goal framework, and that was the one I that we actually explored at the beginning of this class, at the beginning of this session rather, where I asked, okay, so where do you want to like what do you intend to celebrate at the end of 2025? So by the time you've been able to say, okay, this is what I want to be achieve at the end of 2025. So you go to the future, right, with your mind. And when you see that spot you want to be in the future, then you backtrack from where that point is. So you've said, okay, at the end of this year, I want to make $5,000. I think somebody mentioned that. So from saying, okay, at the end of this year, I want to make $5,000, you've already gone forward. So now you have to come back to say, okay, so how much do I currently make? Probably $500 a month. So what's the difference between where I am now and like this $500 I'm currently making and the $5,000 I want to make 11 months from now? Then how do I get to making $5,000 at the end of this year? So that's how the backward goals framework um is quite like is actually basic, but then it can have some complications, like if you're maybe checking online for articles on it and all. While we're majorly going into the smart goals framework, I think it's quite popular, like almost everybody knows about it, and that's what we're going to be using for this class. So the reason why I like it is that I kind of feel it's all round, and you could use it for like your personal goals, your business goals. You could use it at, like across any of your like any aspect of your life basically, and it points to different things. So like I said, at the end of the day, what's common with goals is that you need to get to somewhere, or you need your business to get to somewhere. In your career, you need to get to another level. You need to become someone else, or not necessarily someone else, but you need to become a better version of who you currently are. So you need to be able to describe that better version. So in the SMART goals framework, SMART is just like an acronym. S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A achievable, R relevant, T time bound. I don't know who probably has heard about this before, but I think it's a quite popular one. But you all can, if you've not heard about it before, then probably this will be your first time. But this is basically what it means. And like I said, you're able to say, okay, is it specific? It basically just says, okay, if I'm setting my goal, right, I should be able to check that it answers to each and every one of these things. That's one way you could go about it. Another way is in even setting it in the first place, I could use this framework to set it up, right? And I think that's one of the methods I've tried that I felt was gave me a lot of clarity that I would be sharing in this class. So it's either you're just going to probably write out the goal as rough as it might be in your mind. Okay, I want to have $5,000 at the end of this year. So you now come and check. Okay, is it specific? So I would say it's specific in an extent because it mentions like in terms of okay, basically what you're talking about is financial, like you want to improve financially, you want to like increase in your um financial status, or you want to be more financially stable. But now you've not just said I want to be financially stable, which is what some people might say. You've gone down to say this is exactly what financial stability at the end of this year is for me. It's $5,000 monthly, right? So that's what specific means. Measurable, something else. I'll be going into each of these different like elements of this framework to explain it to each of us, so we can actually try it out in our own personal goal settings, and we would also see how you can follow up with each of these, because it's one thing to set the goal, it's another thing to actually go about achieving those goals. And I'll be sharing those things at the end of the session too, because I believe it's going to be helpful for each and every one of us. If you're still with me, just say yes, I'm with you, yes, I'm with you, and then I'll continue. Okay, hope I've not been talking to myself all this while. Precious, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, so Florence is with me. Wow, Florence out of this whole class like this. Okay, your health, your pride is with me. Okay, Chioma, him is with me. Okay, so I'll just continue. Okay, so we'll be going into the specific, like the different elements of this framework, which is the first element S, and this first element is specific. So what I kind of did was, or rather, what I do most times is, so it's actually a very general, like it's a framework that a lot of people use. But personally, most times, even if it's something a lot of people use, I try as much as possible to make it something that I would understand, because at the end of the day, I want something that would work for me. So it might be general, everybody might be saying, okay, yes, the SMART goals framework, let's set our goals with SMART goals framework. But most times, what I kind of do, and it helps me to like understand this better and apply it in my life in a different way that would actually work for me, is really understanding the basis of this framework. So I have to like go to say, okay, so why do we even need a goal to be specific in the first place? And what does it mean to say a goal is specific? So I've added a question by the side of each of these things to show you what it means and how you can actually ask yourself the question in your mind. Like I think early this year I really had to have like a really proper work session with myself where I broke down each of these elements and I was able to like build in my own, like my specific goals for different aspects of my life and map it out in a way that I can easily go back to it and reflect and be able to like get back on track if maybe I forget or something. So this is one of the ways you can go about it. And I really try to break it down as much as possible. And I'm hoping that each of us will be able to follow through as I explain. So for the specific elements, it's basically what exactly do you want to celebrate in your career, which is the focus of this session today. But it can apply to every other session, every other aspect of your life, right? Like maybe your spiritual life, your relationship life, your social life, your intellectual life, your academic life. If maybe you want to have an academic goal, probably you're done with school and you want to go back, like you want to further your academics or something. So it can actually work for any aspect of your life. It can also work for your business as well. So an example here is I'll be using data analysts. I wanted to use product designers, but then I felt like it's already my field. So if I say it, it will be like maybe that's just where it would work. So I'm trying to use something different from my field just to show you an example of how you could actually set this kind of goals. So if a goal is specific, remember we need to set strategic goals, and strategic goals just mean goals that actually work. Like you've put in a lot of thoughts in the process that, I mean, it should be zero. I mean, even if the error is going to be there, maybe like 5% possibility of error because you've actually put in a lot of thoughts into it, right? So if the goal is specific, you need to tell yourself, okay, what do I really want to celebrate? That's the way you could ask it. So this is like a combination of the backward goal framework I mentioned earlier and this smart goals. So it's not just fully smart goals alone. So being specific, a question you could ask yourself is, what do I want to celebrate in my career 11 months from now? We're already in February, so that's why I put 11 months. So an example could be, I want to establish myself as a competent data analyst. So you could start from here. So this is what I want for myself, right? Just start it like as basic as that. That's already an aspect of your goal that you've written down. Now moving on. Now, the second element of my framework, if you all are following, can you put in the second element? What's the acronym represented by? I just finished with the smart part of with S of the smart. So what's the next element I'm supposed to move on with? Somebody put it in the comment section. Let me be sure we are following. Okay, thank you, Joy. All right, so Joy said we are moving to M. Okay, so we are moving to M, which is measurable. So this person has said, I want to establish myself as a competent data analyst, which is very fair. It's actually fair, although it could be more specific than this, like to go into actual details to say, okay, what does competency mean for me as a data analyst? That's actually how detailed you would even want to be, just to make sure you understand it for yourself, right? But I'll just go with this for an example. Now, for the measurable part, measurable simply means, okay, how can it be tracked or how can it be quantified? So I want to be a competent data analyst. So how do I establish myself as a competent data analyst? So now, what's measurable? Like, how can I be sure that this thing is something achievable, right? It's something that I can measure. So how do I want to track it? How do I want to quantify that at the end of the day? Because 11 months from now, this is what I want to be, right? So how do I say that? So at 11 months, what would actually happen that will make me know that I've gotten to that point? So this is a way you want to keep track for yourself. So you can say by building a portfolio of 5 high quality data analysis projects that demonstrates my skills and expertise. So now for someone else, it could be by landing a maybe junior level role as a data analyst or maybe a mid-level role as a data analyst. So for you, it could be different things. But the reason why I like this example is because it just makes it makes it very easy to count. So you're able to see that okay, by the time I've done, if at the end of the year I'm seeing just I've built just three, I can say maybe in terms of measurability, I'm close to the goal, but I did not really get to the goal. So if they're asking you at the end of this 2025, did you hit your goal? If you just did three, you will not say you hit your goal 100%. You can just say maybe I hit it by 75% or thereabouts. I did not hit it at 100% because I did not get up to five that I set for myself. So being able to even put a figure here in the first place, it has made it very easy for you to count. And then the qualifiers as well, you should also take note of that. I have qualifiers here like high quality, right? So the quality, I want to be able to see that is something that is given in the industry, like industry standard. So for you now, what you would need to do is okay, specify what do you mean by high quality, and then it will depend on the field, right? So for a data analyst now, they are like already top portfolios in the industry that this is like when you call it a portfolio, a high quality portfolio, you already know what that would mean. So if you want to go even more detailed, you can describe that here, because at the end of the day, writing it down, I think I'll even come to that like towards the end of this session. It's like one of the ways you can always keep track, like making sure that you have it written down somewhere that you can easily go back to see and to make sure that you're still on track. So this is what it means to be measurable. This is an example of setting a measurable goal. So now our goal is specific, our goal is measurable. Now we are moving to the next part of this goal, which is achievable. That's using the SMART framework. So with this achievable, we can say how can it be achieved or how will it be achieved, right? Is it something within my capacity? A lot of us, like most times, we just say things that we know deep inside of us that we like this thing going by normal standard. Like if I were to go at maybe the pace I am going now, or okay, it means like for example, now maybe I just started in the I started in the design industry. I just started in the design industry this year, right? I just started entry level, like I just got in as an entry level. In short, not even entry, you've not even gotten an entry level role. And I'm telling myself that at the end of this year, at the end of this year, I want to finish I want to become a what they call that thing. At the end of this year, I want to be a senior level product designer. Like I just started learning product design this year. And also at the end of this year, I want to be a senior level product designer. Like it's not achievable, because even in the industry standard, like there's already a count for, like they already use like number of years most times to count measure like the person's let's say level in the industry and all of those things. So if it's not achievable, then like do not even state it in the first place. Now this can be dicey sometimes because apologies guys, I had to mute for a while. Okay, so like I was saying, um now if it's not achievable, then like I was trying to say, it's sometimes it can be dicey because you'll be like, okay, do I now need to just always consider what is within my capacity? Now I mean, there's really nobody to actually set goals for you if not yourself. Like, you know yourself, you know what you intend, what you really need to achieve for yourself. A lot of times you might not just check it based on what is around you, but you know that there's like there's an energy inside each and every one of us. There's a place for faith as well, right? So I know that there's something achievable. Like, even if this thing like is looking like, I might not be able to do it, but I know that I can make at least one or two efforts to make sure that I get to that point at the end of this year. Then it's achievable for me, right? So you have to check to say, okay, what are the skills or resources I would need to achieve these goals? Now, skills and resources could be in terms of time. It could be maybe I need to like read a couple of books. I need to like go through a couple of courses. That using this data analysis thing now as an example, right? So an example here is I've said, okay, by dedicating 2 hours each week to learning new data analysis tools and techniques and seeking feedback from senior analysts and mentors. This is very like it shows you that this is something that you can achieve. You've said, okay, in 2 hours every week, I want to take the time to learn. And like, why I like this example too is, you see how it actually breaks it down to the barest minimum. It's not giving you 500 hours a week. Like, it's just making it very basic in a way that you know that no matter what, except you're not just being serious, you'll be able to actually achieve it. And that's the same way you should be able to think of it for yourself. Think of something that is practically achievable for you. If you know that, okay, you've checked, you've been able to like trim down on your activities for a week and something, and you cannot be able to have up to this number of hours to give to this particular goal, then don't set it in the first place. But if you know that you can give this specific amount of hours, in short, a lot of times it would require a lot of discipline, and that's why it's nice for you to set it in the first place, because it will help you to actually like build up that, like, when you look at it, you know that, this is where I'm heading to at the end of this year. This is where I'm heading to. If I don't do it, then I'm disservicing myself. So you put in the effort to actually get to that point. So I think I've sat on this for a while. I'll move on to the next part, which is the R. So the R is also something I really love a lot, and is relevance. And I think I spoke about relevance even when we started. I was like, okay, why do we even need to set goals? So in setting your goals too, you need to ask yourself, why does this goal even matter to me? Like, why do I even need to do it? And the reason why you need to do this is that it will be your driving power on that day that you're waking up from sleep, like you're very, very tired, and you don't want to do anything that concerns that relates to that goal. This particular factor, this particular element is what is going to keep you going, because it's actually the basis for whatever it is you're doing. So if by the time you're setting a goal, you do not mention, like, you do not even like, will I say, weigh your goal at all to be sure that it has relevance, then by March, by in short, even if that is if it will even carry you to the end of February, by March you will not even continue. Like, there's no way you even pursue the goal. In short, by December, you forget that you ever had a goal like this. So this is one of the strongest elements of this of your goal. Like, it should always be something relevant. It should be something relevant. It should be something that ties down to your values. It should be something that ties down to your purpose. If you've been able to like discover yourself, discover your passion, discover your purpose, then it should be something that ties directly to it. If not, then I feel like it doesn't really count. It doesn't really hold water. So in your career as a data analyst, right? Still going through that, competency is what the person wants to be. The person wants to be a competent data analyst at the end of this year. So why is it relevant, right? The person wants to be able to demonstrate my skills and expertise in data analysis and advance my career as a data analyst. So this is an example of relevance. For someone else, it could be that, okay, because I know, right? Or you could even go into detail and say, okay, right, I know that yes, it's to demonstrate my skill and expertise, but why do I even want to demonstrate my skill and expertise? Okay, so another like bonus I could give you for this is, if you're specifying your why, like the relevance at this point, you could actually go deeper, and going deeper would help you to get a more like accurate basis. So I'm going to give an example with one of the I think I even like taught it to my product design students sometime, like during their training. So it's one of the questioning frameworks that you could use for yourself, and that is five whys. So if at the first why, like for example, now this person has said, I just want to demonstrate my expertise and my skill and expertise in data analysis and advance my career as a data analyst. So this is number one why. So you could go down to now say, okay, so why do I even want to demonstrate my skills and expertise? By the time you've asked yourself this question five good times, right? To say, okay, so why do you even want to okay, you want to make $5,000, right? Why do you want to make $5,000? Okay, I want to have a better life. Why do you want to have a better life? Because a better life ties to this. At the end of the day, you find out that it ties you back to your purpose, your passion, your values. And if by the time you've asked yourself those questions, it doesn't get to that point, then it is not worth chasing as a goal. So moving to the next thing, which is the last one, is the fact that it must be time bound. Like you must be able to give yourself a restriction with time. Time is one of the rarest, not rarest, but it's actually, yes, one of the rarest commodities that we have. You necessarily don't waste. Okay, yeah, we could waste we not necessarily waste time per se. I mean, time always moves, but then if you're not able to put a restriction to it and you just leave it open, like I've been able to set this beautiful goal to this point. My goal is specific, my goal is measurable, my goal is achievable, my goal is relevant, but there's no time to it, then it's wasted because I cannot give account. And remember that from the very start, the reason why you should set a goal in the first place is because you should be able to build accountability. If you're not able to set a time to it, then there's no way you can know if you've been able to achieve it or not. And that backward stuff I mentioned earlier, the backwards goal framework, to say, okay, 12 months from now, I want to, this is what I want to, this is who I want to be, or this is who I picture myself to be, or this is what I want to celebrate. Then that way you've been able to like put a time bound already to any goal that you're setting. Now you could go as far as this person has said 12 months. 12 months for me, I still feel is kind of vain. So I can decide to say, I've mentioned I want to have like five different high level portfolios. If you remember from I think the measurable part, high quality data analysis projects. Now, if I'm looking at 5 months from now to do, sorry, 12 months from now to achieve this, then the truth is I'm not even I will still not achieve it because I will not know when to start the first one. When, like, it might just end up being that at the end of the 12 months, that's like it's now by November, December, I'll start working on five of them, right? Procrastination can easily set in. So these are some of the things that this time bound, the time bound element of the smart goals framework would help you do. It will help you put a restriction and work towards that restriction. And a lot of times, I would advise don't make the restriction so long. And even if you want to make it so long, maybe for some specific reasons, like you've seen that, okay, you have different things you want to achieve. It's not just this goal, like there are several other goals. And you've given yourself, okay, for this specific one, is by the 12th month, I'll be able to like achieve it based on other goals I have. That works. Or maybe you said, okay, based on some things, like I've checked in terms of resources, in terms of skills, in terms of like this and that, I'll be able to achieve this now, but I can achieve it in 12 months from now. That can still work, but I will not really advise that. I would always say like put an achievable and reasonable time frame to it. Now, speaking to that, so for example, you're done with all of this. Now, see that from each of these, like each of these things had different elements of my goals. So now you can now have a complete goal statement for yourself. And in these goal statements, I've been able to um highlight the specific actions that I'm looking to take, like specific actions I need to take. And that's something else you could do. And you find that the actions are majorly from what is measurable and what is achievable. So if you look at the measurable part, I had measure, right? It's something that you have to like keep on checking, keep on checking. And then something that's achievable too. Remember, we gave a timing to it. So it's something you can always check. So I said building a portfolio of five. The reason I highlighted these ones is because these are the things that you can do, and then there are other things that you might not be able to. Like in terms of looking at the goal from a practical lens, you cannot, like, if I want to say, okay, now I want to establish myself as a competent data analyst, there are some things you can actually do to make this an action for yourself, and some of those things are like um having perception changes about it. For example, you keep on speaking positive words to yourself. I'm a competent data analyst, I'm a competent product designer, I'm a competent product manager, whatever it is. That way it will help you like picture yourself in that role. Okay, so that's the action part to this. But now in terms of practicality, another thing that is like the most obvious actions you can do from here is to build your portfolio or to dedicate 2 hours. It's something that you can count. So you need to be very specific. This way it will help you to like break it down into, okay, within maybe the next 1 week of this month, this is what I want to be able to achieve in terms of this. I want to maybe start doing my research to find out high quality portfolio projects that have been done in the past that I could try to do something similar to. And then you can now say, okay, how many hours of my day, I'll start counting every week. This is the specific time I was able to give to it. I can tick it out. You can create maybe a to-do list, have your reminders. We have a couple of tools out there that you could use to actually keep track of what you do. We have your notes. You can just keep like cut out bits of this because see, it's now very big. Like it's plenty. To be reading all these things every day, like you might even forget. But if you're able to pick out the specific actions that you can perform from this, then it's going to be easy for you to keep track of what you're doing. Then again, now you've set up your goal. So what next? I've mentioned some of the things that you can do, but we have some other things that I've been able to like add here as well that I can speak to in case I've not touched on that. One of it is you should be able to set to-dos and daily to-dos. I would say daily because everything you do a single day that moves you towards your goal is actually a step in the right direction. So if you've done the first thing by writing down that goal in the first place, and when I mean writing down, you could do it digitally, but it's also very important that you have like a physical note. There's something about like actually writing down things. So I'm a Christian, and in one of the scriptures that like always comes to my mind is make the vision plain, write it down, like let men see it so that they will be able to run and they will not faint. So that's actually a scripture that I like to go by. So please write it down. As now we've written have had all of these things. Remember, it's very long because I've gone through that entire process. But if I'm able to pick out, build a port build five high quality data analysis projects and add to my portfolio, I have that as a to do. So now I can place and say, okay, within week one, this is what I'm going to do. Week two, this is what I'm going to do. Week three, this is what I'm going to achieve. So that's the way you can go about it. Then to ensure you do something consistently to get closer to your goals. So I said every single step you make is a step in the right direction. Then the next thing is to have reviews and resets. I think I was listening to one of my favorite YouTubers of recent, Ali Abdul. It's someone you guys could check out. He was saying something about like always having resets. It could be weekly resets, it could be weekly reviews, because it's very easy to set this thing. Like not it's not so easy though. I mean, if you actually take your time to follow through the process, it might not be so easy. So it could take you like a whole day. Sometimes it could even take you like maybe 2 3 weeks, because I mean, sometimes you have to like maybe prayerfully think about it, meditate about it. You don't just like write it down. So there are a lot of things you can do to actually like set these goals too. But then when you've done it, it's very easy to forget it, even after you've written it down. So what you need to do is you could tell yourself every week I'll check back to see that I'm on track. So this week you check, okay, I was supposed to spend 2 hours this week on my videos. I was supposed to spend 2 hours on this. Did I spend 2 hours? If I did not spend 2 hours, why didn't I spend 2 hours? How can I make sure that I spend those 2 hours in the next week? Then lastly, okay, yeah, within the reviews and resets, always make sure to stay reminded of the big picture. So even as you're trying to pick out those daily to-dos, remember one of the things I said you could do to help you like stay reminded of the big picture is to keep on telling yourself, I'm a competent product manager, I'm a competent data analyst. So it would help you to like have that mindset that that's the direction you're going to. So any day I do not take any step, or any week I miss out on what I've set to do for myself, is already taking me a step away from what I'm already telling myself that I am. Right. So it will help you to always stay reminded of that big picture that you see for yourself. Okay, then the last one is create an accountability system. So this one, a lot of times people get scared to do it, and the reason is because they feel like, if I tell somebody about it, what if I now forget? What if something happens? But it would actually keep you in check. So most times, even if you don't want to, right, just share it with somebody. People like to keep it secret sometimes, but yes, there are some you could decide to keep secret, but other ones share it with people that you like trust. Okay, it could be mentors, it could be people that you see as like people that have like gone ahead in your career, for instance. It could be maybe your boss or someone, just, or it could be a friend. But anybody you're sharing it with has to be somebody that you know is going to be responsible enough to keep you on your toes. Not somebody that is just an person like, oh, wow, no wahala. When you're good, like I said, okay, now I want to. The other lady said she wants to go to. I've forgotten the place. So, but let me use an example. I want to go for a vacation in the Maldives by the end of this year. The person I say, hi, chai, no wahala. If you're going, please carry me and go. Like, that's not it. Be able to tell me, oh, what have you done towards this? Have you been keeping up with this? Have you been keeping up with that? So let the person know this is what I'm doing, this is how I'm going to be achieving that. So if you don't have a mentor, you could have an accountability partner. It could be somebody that is also running with you, like somebody that you know. I mean, from your classes, you have like team members you're working together with. I know most of you have been doing a lot of things together, and also you could even decide to have them as accountability partners to say, okay, this is my goal, this is what we are going to be doing. For example, we have goals we are supposed to be challenges we are supposed to be submitting every week. All of you can use this as a way to start setting goals. At the end of this week, this is what we want to achieve. By Wednesday of every week, we should have this, and we should be able to give accounts for it. So that's accountability, and that's actually it. We've come to the end of this session. I don't know if I have any questions. I see I've gone ahead of time. Like we don't have a lot of time again. I've actually gone off time now. Apologies for that. Okay. So I'm done. I can take like one question. I don't want to take a lot of questions because we've spent a lot of time. Yeah. So Precious, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm really excited, and it's been a power-packed section. I know we've all learned a lot from this section. Yeah. So, just like Ms. Mevina said, we can take few questions before we call it a night. Our time is a bit fast spent, but it's worth it because for everything you want to achieve, you really need this section. So I would advise you to go back and go to the section, do the necessary things we need to do, and I believe that we would be successful and get what we want. Thank you so much, Ms. Medina. It was really a wonderful section. Okay, I think somebody has a question. She said, my question is, how can one effectively deal with procrastination? How can one effectively deal with procrastination? So, over to you, Ms. Medina. I think that's just the question I can see here. So, yeah, I think we can take that while we are waiting if any other person has a question to ask. Can you hear me, Miss Regina? Hi, Miss Regina. Hello, can you hear me? Um, Please, if anyone can hear me, just affirm that you can hear me. So for the attendance, I shared the attendance on the chat YouTube live. So please check if you can see the attendance. Okay, you can hear me. So I think it's from Miss Mevina's end. Miss Mevina, please, can you hear me? You are muted. We can't hear you. You are muted. In case you are speaking already, you are muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. So did you hear the question?
I think I saw one. Is it the one from Titi Lot there?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, how can one effectively deal with procrastination?
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for that question. Thank you for that question. Seriously. So, I think one of the ways you can deal with procrastination. I was listening to a video I think earlier this week, and the person said everybody has like everybody has an atom of procrastination. Okay, yes, I think it was this
Yeah.
book, Riches in Babylon, and something I learned from the book is that I mean everybody has a tendency to procrastinate, but it's something they have to consciously fight. Every single person. And one of the ways you can fight it is to just do what you're supposed to do at the time you're supposed to do it. So for instance, now I mean for me I had that issue at some point. So what I normally do is anytime like in my mind I want to say I will do this thing tomorrow, the next course of action like I give myself is anything I say tomorrow, I will start now to do it. Like even if they say you're doing this thing at the end of this week, I will do something from that moment I hear about it. It might be consciously, it might be unconsciously, but by the time you start it could be in your mind. Like that times when maybe I'm at work and they give us a task. So what I just do is most times if I know that is something I would easily procrastinate on, I just probably go on like maybe my chat because most times I have like a personal note. So I just go under my notes and I quickly write something about it immediately. I quickly do something about it. So the easiest way to fight procrastination is to go anti-procrastination. That is anti-procrastinate. So every time you want to say tomorrow, just do something about it immediately. If you want to say, my laundry, I'm going to do it tomorrow, pick one or two of the clothes from that your laundry and do immediately. If you want to say, this place, I'm going to do them tomorrow, I'm going to do the dishes in the morning, do it then. Like, as it's coming to your mind, do it immediately. So that's one of the ways I actually try to fight mine, and it's something you could try as well. I think it could work. There are several other ways, but this one that I know has worked for me, so you could try it too.
All right.
Is there any
Okay.
precious?
Let me check. Um, None that I can see it.
Okay.
And
Okay, just something else I wanted to mention. Yeah, I just got it. It was mentioned to me earlier, but I forgot to speak about it. So I don't know. I think all of them are in a group, right? Is it possible they share? I mean, based on what we learned today, goal setting, and of course, it's about our career. So I mean, TFM is really so interested to make sure that each and every one of us we are a step forward by the time we get out of this. And I think they've really done that exceptionally well in the last 3 months and even all through this mentorship period so far. So I'll be giving us an assignment and I'm hoping that each and every one of us will do it. I don't know if there was an attendance link sent, but I don't think that would be necessary. What I'm considering is if we could have like each and every one of you reach out to your maybe admins on the group and specify your goals. So based on this exercise we did, I'll be sharing the I'll be sharing the slides with your facilitator. I think I don't know, precious. I might get it across to you. I find a way to get it across to them. So go through and with what I've done, set a goal for yourself career wise. I mean, all of you have finished the course. Some of you may have done it before, and this like your second time doing it. So you're going to be setting a goal and you're going to be submitting that as your attendance. Thank you. I don't know if that was clear. although it will be communicated better in the group. So yeah, I just thought to mention that, Precious. Thank you. Precious, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I just wanted to reiterate what I mentioned earlier.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Oh, thank you.
Can you hear me? Maybe not.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, I think it's in my network. Okay, so I think that's that for now.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'll be leaving now. Bye.
All right. Okay, so the attendance link has been shared. Please go through the attendance, okay? So for the person that asked about procrastination, one of the things that can